Everyone, a Complex back with another video, and today I wanted to chat with you about Quake Con. Why? Because at Quake Con there was a Fallout 76 informational panel, and I learned oodles about what we can expect from Fallout 76, and I wanted to take a few minutes to chat with you lovely people about it. So let's kind of just get right into it. One of the first things that super excited me about what we've kind of learned from QuakeCon is that in Fallout 76, you can change your character's appearance at any time. I believe it's going to be hooked into the menu where you can do like your screenshots and stuff like that, because they've kind of got their own like photo mode built in. And the cool thing is you can change not only your hair, makeup, kind of the stuff that you could do in Fallout 4 if you visited the barber or um, anything like that, but you can also change things like your gender and pretty much everything. They just re-let you back into that character creator, which is so exciting because you're going to be with this character theoretically for a long time. And a lot of people aren't going to want to make a brand new character and start from scratch like we're more apt to do in Fallout 4 or another single player game. So this is pretty cool, and this really excited me. So if I want my character to completely change or anything like that, I've got that freedom, which just opens up the possibilities of kind of role playing in Fallout 76 however you want. So the longer you play, if you want your character to kind of age as you play, or down the road there's some kind of like is something that comes out for the game, or there's some kind of event and you want your character to look a certain way for it, you're not limited to the way that you created them in the beginning. So I am pumped for that. And the other cool thing is, speaking of this, in that screenshot mode, you can, of course, take screenshots of your game, of your character, of whatever you'd like, and those get built into the load screens. Like, you're not going to see a lot of load screens in this game, but it's pretty freaking cool that what load screens you will see. They've got some of their own load screens, and then they've also are going to be incorporating a few of your screenshots in there, which is really nice. So it makes the game even more personalized than it would be without it. And the next thing I want to chat with you guys about is the progression system. I am so excited for this progression system. The way that you're leveling up and the way that you're picking skills and specials and stuff like that, it is really exciting to me, to be honest. I like the freedom it looks like we're going to be getting from this, and I like how it'll be easy to swap out um, skills and talents and stuff like that depending on who you're playing with, how you're playing. Are you playing alone? Are you playing in a group? Are you playing in duos? Today, are you going to do more scavenging, or are you going to do more combat? And I really like that it looks like so far, with the way that they've set this up, we'll be able to kind of do a little bit of everything depending on the situation. So let's just kind of go over it in a quick overview. So, like normal in most Fallout games, you can pick points to put into your specials. So you can put one into strength, one into agility, one into luck, yada, yada, yada. So as you're leveling up to level 50, you'll get a point to put into a special. And each special can hold up to 15 points. So you can have, 10 into agility and like 2 into perception, 1 into luck, 1 into charisma. However you want to play those 50 points, they're yours as you level up. Based off of that, though, that number, or however much you're putting into, let's say, strength, that's going to determine how many cards you can put in, like their cards, which I think is freaking adorable. But those cards are what kind of contain your skills and your bonuses and benefits and stuff like that. So if one of these cards is extra carry weight and that card is worth 5 points, then that's going to use 5 points from your strength special. So if that card went into strength, I don't know like where all the cards go. This is just like theoretical. And from there you can kind of hold up to as many cards as you want, as long as you have the points per that special category to use it. So you could, I guess, theoretically have 10 1 point cards if you've got 10 points into something, which is kind of cool. And then those cards, you can actually level up your card. So if you really like this one perk card that you've gotten and you want to make it even stronger, you have the option to do that. And then the other cool thing is, as you level up, I believe they said levels 1 through 10, every other level you're going to get a card pack. And then after that, it's every 5 levels. And those card packs contain just a few extra cards outside of your normal level up. Because every time you level up, you get a special point and a card. And then after level 50, it's just the specials cards that you get, not the points to like put into the specials. But those card packs are really cool because normally they're gonna have a card or two outside of your level. So then that way you can kind of look to the future and go, "Oh, I kind of like this." And you know what? It's maybe I should put more points into perception or more points into luck next time because I really want to be able to unlock this when I hit level 13 or 14 or whatever. So I like that they're really thinking about progression, not just at the moment, but progression in the future for your character. So you know where you're headed, you know what options you have, and you're learning even more what options that you could have to kind of vary your builds and to have a few different options in the future. And I like that you're probably going to start seeing builds on YouTube or on blogs or on Twitch, people talking about, well, if you want this optimal build for this, these are the cards that you need and the points that you need. And I really like that this is now going to be a conversation. It was a conversation in Fallout 4, but not as much. And I feel like when it comes to multiplayer games and stuff like that, those conversations happen a lot more. And so I'm really excited to see what builds people come up with based off of the cards that they found and how they're utilizing their points. And then the other thing that they talked about was the beta. And yes, everybody who has pre ordered Fallout 76 will get into the beta. What they did want you guys to know is that they do 100% expect this game to break during the beta. I think even Todd Howard made the joke of like, we're going to open up the doors for the beta and like the game's going to break in a few minutes kind of thing. So they're fully expecting that. And the reason they're doing the beta so close to launch, which I know had some people worried, is that they're not necessarily worried about the game systems as much as they are about the servers and making sure everything runs as fluidly as possible. Because this is a live game, Bethesda has every intention of continually updating this game and making improvements to it. For the long term. So if there's something that the community doesn't like, just because it's in at launch doesn't mean in a, in a month, in a week, in 6 months it won't have changed or morphed into something that the community likes more. And even Todd Howard's made the comment several times he can't wait to see what the game looks like in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years from now, because it's going to be an entirely different experience than we have now at launch, which, if you think about it, is so cool. Like, we're going to get in at Fallout 76 on the ground level. We're going to kind of grow and learn and be one of those people that is like, yeah, like, in 2, 3 years when we're still playing, we're going to be like, yeah, I remember when the system was like this, or I grinded for something like that. Myself personally, I've never really been part of a community from the ground up like this. I've normally kind of come into the party late. So I am like really excited to be part of this, like from the ground level. We'll be able to talk about it and do comparisons and contrasts as this game develops and evolves, which is so exciting. And then the last thing I wanted to touch on is PvP slash the griefing system. The griefing system is pretty much one of the coolest griefing systems I've ever, or I should say anti griefing systems, is one of the coolest ones that I've ever heard of. It is so creative. So, when somebody wants to engage in PvP with you, the first time they like kind of shoot you or punch you or stab whatever, it's kind of like a slap. And from there, you have the choice of whether or not you want to engage. If you do engage, boo. You hop in, you beat them, you get the XP, you get the caps, you get out of there kind of thing. And the cool thing is, with that, with like the engaging system, if that person is a much higher level than you get more XP and you get more caps for it. So it's kind of scaling. So the higher level a person is, if you beat them, the better off you are XP and loot and caps wise. If they're a much lower level than you, though, you don't get as much XP and you don't get as many caps. So it kind of deters higher level players from trying to like quote unquote pick on the smaller guys. You know what I mean? Because they're not going to get anything for it. Now, if you decide you don't want to engage and you walk away, there are going to be those trolls. We all know there are going to be those trolls who are just going to be like persistent. And eventually they'll probably try to kill you, kind of thing. And if they do kill you and you never engaged with them, what happens is they become wanted. And this is where the progression system got really creative for me. So with the wanted system, there's a message, I guess, that goes out to everybody that's on that server. And then they turn into a great big old red star symbol thing on the map. So everybody knows their general vicinity. They can't see anybody on the map. So normally in the game, you can see where other players are. So if you're like me and a solo player, you're going to use it to avoid everybody and their mama kind of thing. Or if you want to go be social, be like, hey, you kind of know where people are. This wanted person, though, they're on the map. We can all see them, but they can't see anybody else on the map. Not even if they sneak can they become invisible. Like they are permanently on that map until they die. And it's pretty much a bounty on their head. And I'm guessing it's going to be mayhem where everybody goes and tries to kill this one person. Um, and then the nice thing is the person that is wanted that kills the person that didn't want to engage, they actually get 0 XP and 0 caps for killing that person. There is no reward for killing somebody that doesn't want to engage. And I really like that that system's in place because it'll just discourage the at least a few people is the hope. So from there, the wanted person after they're dead, yay. And for the person that was murderized by said wanted person, you have the option, even in a normal engagement kind of PvP fight, you have the option after you die to either block or ignore this person for the continuation of your session. So they're making it really easy to start weeding out players that you might not want to engage with in the future. Players that you're like, you know what, this guy was a douche the whole time. I want like nothing to do with him. And so they're really working hard to make sure that these systems are in place. So then that way, those of us that might not like a certain person or a certain person just really annoying this one session, like you can kind of mute them out and make your life a little bit easier. So I'm really happy to see that it's making the game safer and more fun. And I think that wanted system is incredible. It is so creative. I mean, you're turning what could be a horrible moment for somebody into like everybody on the server is gonna murderize you, and that makes me happy kind of thing. And I really like that, and I think a lot of people are gonna have fun with it when somebody's basically a troll. The one thing to note is when you die, either in a PvP combat scenario or just to a monster, they've pretty much gotten rid of all penalties except you will lose all your junk. So if you die in a PvP combat situation, in a normal engagement fight,
Sweet.
the person that kills you can loot your junk. They can't take anything else. You still get to keep your weapons. You still keep your armor, stim packs, food, all that good stuff. And if you die just normally in the world, it's one of those things where your junk is gone when you respawn. So it's up to you whether or not that junk was important and you want to go back and try to get it if you died in a PvE scenario, or if it's something that you can live without. And I like too that they're making it so if it's something that you can live without, yay. If not, well, you can go back and get it. And it's also going to make everybody much more cautious in the play style, because now we're all going to be like, well, you know what? Before we go into this building that I've never been in before, maybe I should go to my stash. And they did mention stashes are your place to put stuff, and nobody else can touch it. So nobody can loot your stash. It's yours. And they'll have spots like your base will have your stash. And then I guess various spots in the world will also, you'll have access to it. So the nice thing is, you'll make that decision. Is this something, is all this junk really important? Do I want to go dump it before I go engage in this pretty big ass fight or this unknown area? So it's kind of nice that there are all these various systems in place for all of that. And I kind of think that that was everything I wanted to cover today. I gotta tell you, I was excited for Fallout 76 before I watched that Quake Con presentation, but I am so much more excited now. It sounds like they've got a lot of good systems in place. It sounds like the game is going to be really full-bodied. The world is going to be engaging, and it's Fallout. I am so excited. I'm so excited to get in and have some like personal solo time in the game, and I'm also really excited to play with you guys on stream and to kind of see what we can find and come up with as far as like base building or just exploring. It's going to be a blast. But other than that, I think that's everything. I wanted to chitter chat with you lovely people about. If you have questions, comments, anything like that, leave it either down below or find me when I'm live on Twitch and we can talk about this even more there. Thank you so much for watching. I have once again had a blast hanging out with you for this short amount of time, and I will most certainly see you in the next video. Bye!